welcome to Books with Lexie. In this video, I'm going to be reading 3 horror and thriller books with pink covers. Why? Honestly, just because I felt like it. Also, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I post 2 to 3 videos a week and host reading sprints as well. Recently, I have been seeing more and more thriller and horrors with pink covers. I think it's an interesting choice. It's a fun choice. I personally, I'm not someone that loves pink, but it's always interesting to see whenever trends like this come up. So I'm going to be reading 3 of them. I have 1 thriller, So Happy For You, and 2 horror books, and Then I Woke Up, and Just Like Home. I don't expect to gain any sort of insight or brand new knowledge from reading these 3 books together. I don't think there's going to be some thing that is like, this is why this is a pink cover. But I figured it'd be fun to do anyway, so I can't wait to read all of these and give you my thoughts on them. I'm going to be starting with So Happy For You, so I'll see you once I'm into this one. So I have started my first pink book. This is like the most random way to read books. I don't know. But So Happy For You, obviously very pink. Ignore the fact that my nails are chipping everywhere. So this is marketed as a thriller, but so far that part has not happened. Literally, I got to the end of part 1, so part 2 started, and the first sentence of part 2 is, if you've been wondering when we're going to get to the part where we try to kill each other, we're getting close. Ignore that. So nothing has happened so far, in my opinion. I'm just going to read this synopsis to you. A wedding weekend spirals out of control in this bold, electrifying, hilarious novel about the complexities of female friendship. Robin and Ellie have been best friends since childhood. When Robin came out, Ellie was there for her. When Ellie's father died, Robin had her back. But when Ellie asks Robin to be her maid of honor, she is reluctant. A queer academic, Robin is dubious of the elaborate wedding rituals now sweeping the nation, which go far beyond champagne toasts and a bouquet toss. But loyalty wins out and Robin accepts. Yet, as the wedding weekend approaches, a series of ominous occurrences lead Robin to second-guess her decision. It seems that everyone in the bridal party is out to get her, perhaps even Ellie herself. So I have read part 1, which is 46% of this book. And in this part, we are just getting their backstories and their histories. We are pretty much learning everything that happened in the synopsis. So we are seeing their relationship as children growing up. When they first met, they were each other's, they were part of each other. They had a super close friendship. And we're also getting some of our main character Robin's backstory with her own family. So it's all interesting stuff, and it's fine, but it's not a thriller so far. None of the exciting, thrilling stuff has happened. It looks like there's only 2 parts, so I'm hoping the second half of this picks up, but right now it is definitely more of a, I guess, literary thriller. It's talking a lot about people's opinions and taking other people's opinions into account, and how you might have super strong opinions on something, but is it okay to believe that that's the only way you should think? It's interesting, but in terms of a thriller, it's feeling like a 3-star currently. So this, the words in here are giant. It is, I think at my listening speed, I have less than an hour and a half left to finish this book. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I will come back and talk to you again. we're gonna ignore that. Whenever I stream in front of my bookshelves, that is my setup. And anyway, I have finished So Happy for You by Celia Latsky. This is very short. I am pretty sure I gave you the synopsis, so I don't need to do that again. I did end up enjoying the second half of this a lot more. We got the thriller aspects. This is 100% over the top, ridiculous, a lot of fun. I liked the commentary on weddings and also like feeling like your opinion is completely the only one that is accurate and the way you treat people because of that. It was very interesting to read. Can you know that? So yeah, I think I'm gonna give this one like a 3.5 to 4 star. I didn't love it. The first half, in my opinion, nothing really happened. And I don't really like books like that. But I did really enjoy the end. So yeah, 3.5 to 4 stars for this. But I think it was done really well and it was very interesting. I have also started Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. I think I'm like 15 to 20% into this, so I'm not very far in. I don't have any real opinions to share yet, but I have started it. So once I'm like a third of the way into this, I will come back and give you more thoughts. I'm here to talk to you about Just Like Home. If we're being honest, the book is downstairs and I'm too lazy to get it, so I'll just put a picture up here so you can look at it. I'm a third of the way into this book. This is one that since picking it, I have heard so many things about it. I feel like a lot of people either give this 2 stars or like a 4.5 or 5. Generally, I feel like this doesn't get 3 stars. So far, I am more leaning towards the side where I like this book, but I know that the ending is maybe the more divisive part. So we are following a woman who is moving back into her childhood home because her mother is sick and dying and needs cared for. The house she is moving back into happens to be the house that her father killed people in. Her father is a convicted serial killer. He is no longer alive, but she is moving back in to take care of her mom, and memories are starting to kind of come back to her. We are getting flashbacks of her during a child as she is starting to maybe slowly put the pieces together that something is wrong in her house. And then we are also watching her in the present come to terms with the things that happened in her past. She has a terrible relationship with her mother. I'm pretty sure she was kicked out of the house. So like she doesn't even call her mom, she calls her by her name. Obviously, she had a strained relationship with her father, but she was close to her father beforehand. So she's just like grappling with all of those feelings. Like, I cannot imagine like loving my father so much and then finding out he did something like that, because like you don't just immediately stop loving somebody, but like they murdered people, you know. So I just like dealing with that mentally cannot fathom. It's very interesting. Like, if that happened to me, I would never go back to that house, but her mother still lives in it and like lets people come in and like rent out space just because they're like nosy. And then there's also a shed behind their house that her mother rents out to somebody, and this guy ends up being connected to some things, and it's all very interesting so far. Not a lot has happened, but there's a lot to think about with what's going on since we're getting the backstory and just like very interesting dynamics going on now. So those are my thoughts. I'm very interested to see what direction this takes because so many people have strong feelings about the ending. I'm gonna go read. I'll talk to you once I'm 2/3 of the way into this. Also, I might start and then I woke up, so if I come back and talk about that, sorry. So I have been on sprints on Kaylee's channel all day. Hannah and Riley have been here, and I have been reading Just Like Home. Well, actually, in the first sprint, I did read some of this, but I'm not going to talk to you about that now. I am 70% into Just Like Home, and this is definitely a slower one, but enough interesting things are happening that I am still engaged. Like, I still want to know what's going on. If you watched my last video, you'll know that I DNF'd Mother Thing because I was bored out of my mind because nothing was happening, but this is at least having interesting things to think about. Mother Thing had a little bit, but this one generally, it's just like the psychological aspect of this is very interesting and it is keeping me engaged. My one complaint is that sometimes it's hard to tell when we are switching between the present and the past storyline. It's like all the same. And I don't know if that's because I'm listening to the audiobook. I know I have it here, but I am primarily listening to the audiobook because I've been doing things to get the Predictathon, Readathon announcement and graphics and everything done. So I have been mostly listening. I don't have any real thoughts other than what I said last time. It's still very much like the psychological aspect of this, and we are getting more of her thoughts and interactions with her dad when she was younger. I'm enjoying reading all of that. I know the ending of this is very weird and divisive, and I absolutely cannot wait to get to it. I think depending on how the ending goes, this is going to be either 2 stars or 4. Hopefully 4 because I like weird stuff. I have an hour and 6 minutes left at my listening speed, so I will be able to finish this today. We have 25 minutes left on this sprint, and then I think we're done. I don't know why I said I think. We are done. This is the last sprint, but I'll be able to finish it tonight. So I'll come back to you later and give you my final thoughts on this. I'm super excited to see how this turns out. And then I am going to read this one. These are like almost exactly the same color. Look at me go. I don't know why I told you I was going to read this one. You already know that. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. I finished Just Like Home, and wow, this was very interesting. I thought I knew where this was going, and I know people were like, oh, it has a weird thing. I was like, okay, this can't be that weird. I was wrong. It's a really strange twist, reveal, situation. And I think I really liked it. I think I'm going to give this 4 stars. This was very slow paced, which I typically don't love, but it had a lot of interesting conversations and things to think about. There were a lot of situations that came up that I thought added to the story with just like making it more interesting. And then the ending, a strange time. So yeah, I definitely ended up enjoying this. I think 4 stars feels right. I do like this a little bit more than So Happy for You. So I think a 3.5 for that and then 4 for this feels right. Yeah, the ending, strange time, but a good time for me. So second book down. I didn't love the audiobook experience. Oh, I don't know why this means love. I didn't love the audiobook experience for this. I had to slow it down, which isn't a huge deal, like whatever. But the narrator was just like, I don't know. Like I had to slow it down because her voice just like, I don't know, it was hard for me to listen to it. Like, never mind. That makes no sense. Like my ears struggled to like always hear everything, even though that is not normally the case. That probably makes no sense, but that's my experience with this. It is a very detached writing style and audiobook narrator, which is true with the other book I read by Sarah Gailey, The Echo Wife, which I really enjoyed. So yeah, it's good book. I will read more from them, and I'm glad I finally got to this. I have not made it any further into this. Because why would I? I will talk to you tomorrow, probably once I'm halfway through. Since this is so short, I feel like a third and two-third update might be a little difficult because I don't want to spoil it. I am halfway through and then I woke up. I just got to the end of chapter 3, so these are pretty long chapters because I'm on page 80. For a novella, is feeling very slow to me. Like, we're getting the backstory, but the backstory for the most part isn't super interesting. In a world reeling from an unusual plague, monsters lurk the streets while terrified survivors arm themselves and roam the countryside in packs. Or perhaps something very different is happening. When a disease affects how reality is perceived, it's hard to be certain of anything. Spence is one of the cured living at the Ironside Rehabilitation Facility. Haunted by guilt, he refuses to face the changed world until a new inmate challenges him to help her find her old crew. But if he can't tell the truth from the lies, how will he know if he has earned the redemption he dreams of? How will he know he hasn't just made things worse? So yeah, this is very much focusing on the toxic influence of propaganda, says Shauna McGuire, and she is correct. This very much is about like the influence of media and the fact that it's like pretty much everything we are seeing on TV news whenever is skewed one way. There's not like just the facts. It is also very heavily influenced by opinions. So it's really hard to figure out what is the truth and what is not. So yeah, this plague affects their minds. So it doesn't bother me to read it because of COVID. Like they're not like sick in the sense that people usually are in like with other plagues. So yeah, it's interesting, but not a lot has happened. We got Spence, our main character, his backstory for a little bit, but it's also he doesn't know really what is true and what's not because he was one of the ones infected by this plague. And then we're also just getting him living in this rehabilitation center and forming this friendship with the other character, what's her name? Layla. So, yeah, I don't know where this is going to go. I'm at the point where like they're trying to find Layla's old crew. But like everything that's happened has been in the synopsis. And it's just like I don't think we needed 84 pages for that. So like it's interesting things to think about, but the pacing is kind of off for me. I plan on finishing this today. I don't have that much left. Like I can 100% do it. I'm on sprints on my channel. Aoife is joining me. We're having a great time. So yeah, I do want to finish this. And I'll come back to you later with my final thoughts and wrapping up this pink book vlog. Hi, hello, me again in this same spot. I rearranged my room so that I had a new filming spot, a new option to like where I can sit, so that I had like a nice book-ish background. And it just turned into the only place that I film because it is the easiest place for me to set up my smaller tripod instead of my like big thing. So I'm so sorry that I've been sitting in this chair constantly, but I've been on sprints constantly, and that's pretty much when I've been doing my filming. So here is the situation. I don't care about this book. It is a short one, and it's taking me forever to read. I've made it 100 pages in, and I've decided I don't want to do it anymore. I'm struggling to get through it. I am not reading because I'm just like, I don't want to pick this up. I don't love the way that it is written. I really like the concept, like a plague that only affects your mind and people don't know when they're being affected, really. Like, it is a big commentary on like media and conspiracy theories and different things like that, which I really enjoy. Like, I enjoy what it's saying, but the execution I'm just not loving. It is reading very slow for me, and I'm just like, I should not be struggling to pick this up. Like, I would read 10 pages at a time and be like, you know what else can I do that is not read this book? So that is a sign that I should not be reading this book, because like, I know I'm here making content talking about books, but I'm not gonna read things that I hate, you know? So another video that I'm ending with DNF. I don't love that, but here we are. I just really couldn't push myself through the last 80 pages. Reading is supposed to be fun, and if I'm not having fun, like why? Okay, I'm gonna stop repeating myself. So I would recommend giving this a go because it is so short. You might like it. It does have people that like really love it, but for me, this just was not a hit. So I'm done reading pink books for this video. I actually am currently reading 2 other books that happen to be pink for different videos. So you'll see more pink books from me in the future, just because. What a weird thing for me to say. So please hold. So my profound thoughts from this video. Pink is not my favorite color. It's probably, I guess, one of my least favorites. Like, I don't think about it in a negative way, but like, I'm never drawn to pink things, if that makes sense. Like, nothing. I don't think I own a single pink shirt. I probably would have worn it for the thumbnail if I did, but I don't own a pink shirt. So is it a coincidence that I didn't love any of these books? Maybe. I did have a good time though. This sadly was a DNF. And then this one was a 3.5, but it's more so that the end was like really good and then the first half was very slow for me. And then I did have a 4-star. So this was my favorite from this video. This one is weird and very divisive, but I had a good time with it. I am glad that I picked up some pink books just for the heck of it. If you've made it to the end, leave me an emoji that is mainly your favorite color in the comments. It does not have to be a heart. You can get as creative with it as you would like. I'd love to know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. And if you have a color you want to see me read books of. This is not a series. I just wanted to read these books, so it happened to become a video. But maybe it'll happen again in the future. That's it from me. Thanks for hanging around for this very random themed video. I'm looking forward to seeing all the emojis in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!